You're listening to Mountain Radio, broadcasting from the Deia Mountains.
Now, back to the story. My lover at that time was great friends with Robert's son Juan and his wife Frances, and because they adored her, they were very kind to me. It was a little strange for me to meet Juan. I'd read about him in biographies of graves, but now he was a grown man, and I soon realized that at this time, the last thing Juan wanted to do was talk about his father, a sort of hero to me also. Fortunately, I soon realized Juan was more happy discussing British rock and roll music at enormous length, especially his beloved Beatles, something I also love to do. So we were on safe ground. I'd known Juan for some time before I had the courage to talk about his father and told him my uncle's story. He laughed and said he remembered that night on the South Bank in the fog all those years ago. I'll never know whether Juan was just humoring me, but that doesn't matter. It's a great story. Incidentally, I was able to repay Juan's kindness by accident. I was working at the time with one of Paul McCartney's daughters. She came to stay in Deia with her husband and children, and we were invited up to Juan and Frances's house, with its spectacular views over the mountains and the coast. Juan was utterly thrilled at having met a member of the McCartney family and honoured to have her in his house. Because he was so laid back and gracious, and not being much of a Beatles fan myself, I had no idea how much it meant to him. Now I'm glad I was able to bring a little Beatles light by proxy into Juan's life.
You're listening to Mountain Radio, broadcasting from the Deia Mountains.